CPAC finally started, and it's really humiliating and embarrassing. Here is the start of it with Matt Schlapp, who runs the event. Remember, much of the controversy around CPAC this year is that Matt Schlapp, who is anti-gay and married to a woman, he is accused of having, I can't even do it. He's accused of having pummeled the junk of another man. Sexual assault, we're talking about. Many people didn't want to go to CPAC. Here is Matt Schlapp addressing Jim Jordan as maybe the most powerful man in Washington.
There's a lot of chatter in the media about who's here and not here. I'm really proud to be standing alongside someone I think might just be the most powerful man in Washington, D.C.
You know, I don't think that Jim Jordan is at this point the most powerful man in Washington, D.C., but it's the perfect person for Schlapp to point to because Jordan has quite a history of looking the other way when bad things are being done. Let's just leave it at that. Kurt Schlichter was there, and he had quite an interesting anecdote. These are the sorts of colorful stories we've come to expect at CPAC.
Schlichter, my friend from Town Hall, who has a very important historic distinction. He was kicked off and banned from the Don Lemon show. I forget, what did you say again?
Well, so I'm on the show, and he says, so this is when we run up to Trump, and he says, you know, Kurt, this is terrible. This is the worst thing ever. Do you know what Donald Trump said? And I'm like, I don't know. And he says, he said that Hillary got schlonged when she was running against Barack Obama. And that's the worst thing ever.
That was a good one.
And I said, I don't care. Hillary Clinton, I mean, you care about that. Hillary Clinton literally stood by while her husband used an intern as a humidor.
Whoa.
And
totally normal.
You can't say that. So I said, she sat there and literally stood by as her husband used an intern as a humidor and boot off of CNN. Best thing that ever happened to me.
So that's
all right. A true tale of redemption and forgiveness or something like that. They're still doing the election with stolen stuff. Here is Stephen Bannon interviewing Kimberly Guilfoyle and someone else, looks like Miss Indiana maybe or something. I can't tell. And playing up the entire Biden's not the legitimate president stuff.
You said the Bidens were the occupiers of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Are you implying they did not win the 2020 election, ma'am?
I'm straight out saying that they did not. That's why you're an occupier. It's like the equivalent of a squatter, right?
Do you agree with that? Do you think is Joe Biden the legitimate president of the United States?
No, definitely not. All right. And then a woman traveled all the way to CPAC, I guess because she loves Steve Bannon. And Steve Bannon suggests not watching Fox News anymore, which is interesting.
Name and what brings you here today? I'm Bobby Rooney, and I actually came here because I love Donald Trump and I love Steve Bannon also in Real American Voice. And I'm with a little group in Pueblo, Colorado, who are grandparents for America. And we
Did she say gun parents or grandparents?
Planting trees under which we will never sit. Because we're trying to get policies out. Our young people don't know any of the policies. So they go and they vote personality. We can't win the personality war.
Right. It's the left that's voting for personality. That oh my goodness, that is genius, huh?
We can win the policy war. They're all in our favor. So we did a brochure that puts Republican...
I'm curious, are there any policies that the country is moving in their favor? I can't think of a single one.
Policies on one side, Democrat policies on the other. If you pick all the Democrat policies, vote that way. We just want you not to be stupid.
Right.
All right.
You know what you're voting for.
Hold on.
We have all the
Ma'am,
policies.
if you don't want to be stupid, stop watching Fox.
Yes,
For Tucker and Jesse Water and Maria Bartiromo.
There were some except fors there. Did you hear that? He's like, did he say except for Maria Bartiromo and someone else? So this is another unhinged year of CPAC. We will be live later today and then tomorrow with the Trump speech. And it is a gong show. It really is. But hopefully I don't have to suffer through it alone and some of you will join me. Make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. One of our sponsors today is Magic Spoon, the breakfast cereal with the crunchy, sweet goodness you love, but with high quality ingredients, less sugar, and more protein. Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar. It's packed with 13 to 14 grams of protein and just 4 to 5 net carbs. So it's great if you're doing keto or low carb, or if just like me, you're trying to limit your sugar intake. They have many unique flavors, so you'll never get bored. My personal favorite is maple waffle, but I grew up in New England, so maybe that's why maple, They also have cocoa, fruity, frosted peanut butter, blueberry muffin, honey nut, cookies and cream, cinnamon roll. Sometimes there's really just no substitute for sitting down with a nice bowl of cereal. Who doesn't love that? When the mood strikes, go for something more wholesome with plenty of protein and without all the sugar. If you don't love Magic Spoon as much as I do and our team does, Magic Spoon will refund all of your money, no questions asked. Simply go to magicspoon.com/Pacman. You can create a custom bundle and use the code Pacman for $5 off. The link is down below.